if you love the Raiders and you never want to miss anything the entire offseason, like, I don't know, maybe Davante Adams buying a house in Las Vegas, for example, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications because the Raiders Report, we got you covered. I don't want you to miss anything. Like, did I mention Davante Adams might have bought a house? Seriously, hit that sub button. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and hopefully I don't giggle or chuckle like a little schoolgirl too much on today's show, because the reason why I came in on my off day is because anytime I get big-time news or big-time rumors, I'm like, all right, let's break it all down. Apparently, there is a very credible source out there hinting at the fact that Davante Adams has bought a home in Las Vegas. Now, there was a home recently purchased for, I believe it was like 11.99 something million. We'll round up to say 12 million in Vegas. The Packers are not expected to franchise tag Adams at this current moment because remember a few days ago, literally, Brian Gutekunst, the general manager of the Green Bay Packers, said that's not the idea that we have. But if they want to go ahead and pay Aaron Rodgers $50 million a year, they already don't have a lot of money. What exactly does that mean for Davante Adams? So could this be a sign of something to come? Which, I mean, Davante Adams in silver and black. So here was the tweet, and it's from Vital Vegas. They have about 114,000 followers on Twitter, and they don't ever really tweet out sports-related stuff. The only time, and I went back quite a ways, that they've ever hinted at NFL players, NBA players, MLB, like any type of sport, hockey even, players of buying a home in Vegas, it's actually turned out to be pretty true. So they went ahead and said, we honestly have no idea who this is, which then they replied to a few threads because people were like, oh my goodness, how do you not know who Davante Adams is? And they're like, we're kidding. We know who he is. And they doubled down and said that they were told that Davante Adams has purchased a $12 million home in the Ridges, a fancy Las Vegas neighborhood. So all I want you to do, man, if you come across this video, let's just say Davante Adams is, I don't know, chilling at his home in Las Vegas, and he's getting all excited, and he's sitting there, he's like, oh, wow, this video only got 500 likes. I guess they don't want me to come to Vegas. No. If you want Davante Adams to come to Vegas, I want you to go ahead and smash that like button. Now, I figured, shout out to my team, shout out to Jeremy and everyone else here at Chat Sports. We did a little bit of digging, and we got some really high-quality photos of the house that apparently it could be Davante Adams' next house. Now, I'll tell you what, man, I would love to live here. When I first saw the story come out, I was like, no shit. Did Davante Adams just buy John Gruden's old house that just went on the market? And I started to giggle. This is a beautiful home, Davante. If you need somebody to come over and sip some beers or drink some Fireball in the pool, I'm sure Jeremy, me, and Jimmy Chug 69 would be more than happy to just hang out at this place. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. The only thing I hope did not happen is, do y'all remember a few years ago, there was a black gentleman at an airport with dreadlocks, and everyone was like, Larry Fitzgerald is on his way to, I don't remember what team it was, but it was literally just big, athletic, black-looking man with dreadlocks at airport. Larry Fitzgerald's leaving the Cardinals. I really hope that that's not the case. I really, really hope that Davante Adams actually bought a home in Las Vegas because I get it. He's a millionaire. There's a lot of people that I'm sure would love to live in Las Vegas. His best friend, Derek Carr, who's also the quarterback of the Raiders, lives there. Maybe he wants to live closer. I just don't understand why you'd spend $11.9 million to live closer to your big friend, unless he calls you Dragon. So when you look at the Raiders' wide receiver depth chart as it stands right now, Zay Jones, free agent. Bryan Edwards, he is the wide receiver 2, but you don't want to go into the season with him as your wide receiver 2. Hunter Renfrow coming off a season over 100 grabs, Pro Bowl type of receiver, but he's a slot guy, which means the Deshaun Jackson, another free agent. So if the season were to start today, you'd have Bryan Edwards as your wide receiver 1, Johnson as your wide receiver 2, and then Hunter Renfrow in the slot. Now, sure, you got Darren Waller, Foster Moreau, but when it comes to Davante Adams, and I've said this multiple times, he is the best wide receiver in the National Football League. I know Cooper Kupp put up better numbers. I know there's going to be some other people that argue for DeAndre Hopkins. You can argue for all of them. That's fine. You put any of them on a team, you're going to be successful. This past season, though, 123 grabs, 1,553 yards, 11 touchdowns. Last season, 115 catches, 1,374 yards, 18 touchdowns. When Davante Adams is on the field, he is a dominant receiver. And when you go back to think about, okay, Derek Carr and Davante Adams, they're 2 years together at Fresno State. When Davante, I think it was his junior year, he had 14 touchdowns. His final year with the Bulldogs, Davante Adams had 24 receiving touchdowns, and Derek Carr threw for 50 touchdowns. These guys are inseparable. So I want to know from all y'all, how pumped would you be if Adams became a Raider? Scale it to 1 to 100. It's a 101, and I'm telling y'all right now, if Davante Adams becomes a Raider, I am going to do the 100 beer challenge in 6 minutes because Jeremy always laughs when I say it. How could you possibly drink 100 beers in 6 minutes? If it happens, man, it's going down. And, man, I just really, really hope. I mean, just to explain to you how excited it was, again, today is my off day. We are actually, Alex and I are getting ready to go to church, and this rumor came across, and I was like, I got to go, Jeremy. It's a sign. And if it is a sign, I'm here for it. Scale it, though, down in the comments, 1 to 100. So I don't know about y'all. I love creating content here on the Raiders Report, and I've been striving for a long time to only create Raiders content here at Chat Sports. And this is my very first opportunity. So if you love the Raiders, if you support me, then what I want you to do is join us on Locals. And actually, I put out a video today whether or not I would want the Raiders to go out and get Amari Cooper. It is exclusively on Locals. So if you want more content, go to RaidersReport.com. RaidersReport.locals.com. That's the link. It's down in the comments. It's also going to be in the description of the video. And if you want to get more close to me or more exclusive videos, more exclusive lives, get to know me more personally, we're going to be chugging beers. We're going to be doing Zoom calls. The first 10 annual supporters, you get to do a Raiders Report intro video. And I know we already have, I believe, 5 people ready. Actually, I think 6. And then the first 100 annual supporters get a Raiders Report Founders t-shirt. We are also on Rumble, and you're like, Mitch, what the heck is going on here? You guys are just sprouting everywhere. We are. We want more content here, and I know you guys want more content, and this is just more ways for you to view more Raiders Report stuff. Now, YouTube, sometimes, like we literally had to create a word because we couldn't drop the F word. We couldn't say F, so we started saying Tom. Over on Rumble, I'm allowed to be uncut. I'm allowed to be uncensored, and I'm allowed to get wild and out. So if you want even more uncensored Raiders content, then go to rumble.com/Raiders Report, and please go ahead and give us a follow. But the reason why I want you to is because if we succeed in doing all this stuff, it's only going to be Raiders content. So let's keep talking about some of these highest paid wide receivers because, let's face it, if Davante Adams is buying a $12 million home in Las Vegas, yeah, he's going to be making a pretty penny, right? So to DeAndre Hopkins at 27.25, Adams is going to want more money than that. I will personally say that when Hopkins got his extension, that's why it was so much, and it was on a shorter-term deal. Everything that it sounds like is Adams is going to be wanting $30 million a year. $30 million is a lot of money for a receiver, and I've said before on the Raiders Report, I wouldn't want to pay any receiver at this current moment $30 million. However, if Derek Carr's going to be true to his word, and from everything it sounds like, Josh McDaniels was at the NFL Scouting Combine this past weekend, it said, or literally this weekend, it's not even the weekend, Mitch, get it together, and he said that Derek Carr is absolutely, and he used the word, absolutely going to be the Raiders quarterback this year. Carr has also said that, okay, if we're going to be in this range of him getting a new contract extension, I would actually be willing to take a little bit less money if it meant playing with Davante Adams. So let's just say you're going to give $30 million to Davante Adams, and Carr's like, you know what? Instead of a $40 million extension, I'll take 30 as well, then they can go ahead right off into the sunset together. Because Derek has also said that he will do whatever it takes to make this happen. Davante Adams said that it would be a dream come true to play with Derek Carr. The reason why Davante Adams goes by the name Tay, T-A-E, on all social media, and when you listen to reporters now, they call him Tay, it's because that's what Derek Carr called him at college. They are that good of friends. Like, they are the type of people that are going to be the best men in each other's wedding. Though I know Derek's already married, but I'm pretty sure if Davante got married, they would be best men. When you look at Derek Carr's numbers in 2021, 68.4% completion percentage. He did set a new Raiders single-season record with 4,804 yards, beating out Rich Gannon. 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. I want you to remember these numbers here because now it's time to predict here. If, let's just say, Davante Adams comes on over, and you got Derek Carr, I want you to try to predict Carr's stats in 2022 with Adams. If the yards stay the same, I'm okay with that. The number that needs and will go up is touchdowns. If you're paying Derek Carr $40 million extension and you give Davante Adams $30 million, if Derek Carr does not throw for 30 touchdowns, then it is a big, fat waste. I appreciate every single person that has made it this far in the video. Remember, at this current moment, it is still just a rumor of whether or not Davante Adams actually bought a house in Las Vegas. If it turns out to be true, we're going to be going live here on YouTube, probably even live on Locals and Rumble as well. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Jeremy, tell them where they can go one more time for Locals. It's raiders.locals.com. And then you can also go to, I know, caught you off guard, but hey, when Davante Adams buys a house, we're going off guard. Rumble.com/Raiders Report. Follow us on Rumble. And then also join us, RaidersReport.locals.com. If you want more content about my opinion on whether or not the Raiders should go out and get Amari Cooper, because it sounds like he's going to be released by the Cowboys. You can find that at the link below. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, and if anybody sees Davante Adams in Las Vegas, tell him I said sup.